Center. Hello, family. Good to see you this morning, this beautiful Sunday morning. Join in with me as we sing out, Shine, Be Glorious. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. I open my heart, even in the dark. The light of my God always shine bright, even in the night. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. I open my heart this miracle day. The love of my God always shine, giving all I can take. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Shine your light, shine your light. Good morning, family. Welcome to Universal Spirit Center. That's the Sounds of Spirit. Linda on keys, Oliver on bass, and Matt on drums. And I am blessed to be your musical director, Gino Walker. And I have I love that, Dana, thank you. I have a very special guest here for you today that wants to say something to you.
Universal Spirit Center. It's me,
Dante, there's no sound
Amy
in the house.
Steinberg, and I'm so
There's no sound in the house.
Universal Spirit Center.
There's no sound in the house. Let's try it again. Let's try it again.
Universal Spirit Center. It's me. Universal Spirit Center. It's me, Amy Steinberg, and I'm so happy that I'm coming to see you for a concert. Thank you for coming out next Friday, March 10th. I'm so excited. It's been like 3 years since I've seen you. It's been such a wild time for all of us. So much growth. I'm coming there in my first place that I'm actually bringing my new CD. It's called Big Bang Breaks, and it's exciting, it's uplifting, it's all the things that we've all been through in the last few years. So, Universal Spirit Center, I hope I get to see your face, because that's how much I love you. Is you are the place. I decided to release my CD first. I love you, Reverend Hev. I love you, Gino. I love the community, everybody on the board, Annette, Lorraine, everybody. I hope to see you next Friday, and I love you so dearly.
So that's March 10th, this upcoming Friday. If you have not gotten your tickets yet, if you want to come in and check with me after the gathering, make sure or go online to get your tickets for our wonderful Amy Steinberg. Let's pack this house. She was the musical director before me, after Dave Avani. So let's come out, let's show out, let's bring our friends and family, and let's have a big party. So everybody, stand on up. Get ready to do our congregational song. If you got your phone on, text somebody, call somebody, tell them you're at Universal Spirit Center shining your light. And you at home, tweet us, like us, ding us, love us. Yeah. Here we go. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. Oh, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, come on, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here. I'm only here for God.
Good morning, Universal Spirit Center. I welcome you here this morning to a divine experience. I'm Kevin Busey. I have the great joy and honor of being the spiritual leader of this thriving, progressive community. And I welcome you, whether you're here this morning or whether you join us online. Welcome to our experience this morning. A special shout out and welcome to anyone else who joins us new this morning. We're glad that you're with us. My little buddy here, Luca. Let's have Simon come up as well and let us know what the kids are doing.
Hi, I'm Simon with the youth, and the youth decided to come up a little early today. Just how it progresses sometimes in the mornings. Today we're actually going to be going over to the park down the street. So we're going to have a nice park day in the sun. Hopefully we get a good amount of sun and get some of this youthful energy out before they go back home. And then we got 2 more coming up. Come on, go. All right, I guess we're going to go ahead and say hi real quick. So if you don't mind showing off her beautiful mustache and eyebrows. This is Parker.
Hi.
That's Luca.
Come on, you want to say hello?
Hi. Hi.
And that's our youth for today.
Thank you for
We have more in
being.
the audience. Again, if you ever feel called to volunteer, please see me after service. I'm more than happy to give you any details and information. We have Dre with us. Again, 3 for 3. And we're going to be at the park. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you for your blessings, and have a great Sunday with Kev.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you, brother. All right. So who was born in March? This is our first Sunday March. Stand up. Let's acknowledge people in Beth. Is that it? Beth? Is that all? That's wild. Now, no one in the first gathering was born. So happy birthday, Beth. Happy birthday. So I want to share with you that next Sunday, we're having our annual community meeting. It's after our second gathering. It's a time where we could kind of briefly review the last year, what's coming up in the new year, and then we get to present our budget to you. So we invite you to come and be a part of that. As I said, it'll be after our second gathering. Also, I want to do a shout out to, we had 2 activities this last week. We had a Friday night movie night in which there were a lot of people that attended. And we're looking at doing that on a monthly basis because it was so well supported. And then a group of us went and served at PATH. So we acknowledge that effort, PATH. And you'll hear more about PATH as each month we go and feed the unsheltered downtown. So it's a good experience. So want to let you know about that. And then also, Bob has some announcements.
Good morning. I'm Bob Mosai. I have your announcements for today. Again, if you don't have or have any questions, especially for you online, check out our website for any of this information I tell you this morning. We're going to start off with Racial Equality Project's Call to Action. Watch the short video entitled On Empathy by Brené Brown. This beautiful short animated film will help us all see how we participate and experience the emotions, thoughts, and attitudes of another. Let's practice with our family, our friends, and our community. See the racial equality page on our website for the link to this video. Women's History Month is this month, and this week we're going to celebrate woohoo, Winona LaDuke. Winona founded the White Earth Land Recovery Project in 1889, which returned over 1,400 acres of land. She also founded the Indigenous Women's Network, which works to empower Native American women. Angels Group was postponed last week, but hey, it's happening this week, right, Margot? Stand up. It's going to be this Saturday, 10 o'clock at the office.
Stand up, Margot.
Stand up, Margot, so everyone can see
Stand
it. There you go.
Margot.
Thank you. Spirit in Action, our social justice group, is meeting today across the street after this gathering, hosted by Viraj.
Viraj, stand up.
Stand
Does
up.
anyone see you? Okay.
Thank you. And finally, April 5th, we're considering doing a Passover Seder. So if anyone's interested in that, we're asking for a sign up, which is at the yes table outside. And finally, speaking of dogs, I was walking my dog the other day and it lost its tail. Does anybody know where I should have gone to get a new one?
Where?
Well, I'll tell you. Walmart, because they're the largest retailer.
There you go. Okay. So, as is our tradition, I'm going to invite you to stand and turn around to the camera under the clock. And that's great. All of you who are watching us online, thank you for being part of our community. Thank you for joining us here. So, I invite you to turn to each other and welcome each other to Universal Spirit Center.
morning, Universal Spirit Center. I invite us all back to our seats. I'm Borghild Kellenberger, one of your licensed prayer practitioners, and I have a brief announcement before I begin. The grief group will be starting again for the month of April for 5 consecutive Saturdays, and so there is a sign-up sheet on the yes table. So if that is speaking to you, that'll be there for the month of March, and just feel free to sign up, and then we'll reach out to you. So we're going to get centered, then I'm going to do our reading, and I'll bring you back with a prayer. So just take a nice deep breath. And just be aware of the inhale and the exhale. Be aware of the chair that supports you, the ground that supports the chair. And just let everything go right now. And our reading today is by Joel Goldsmith. We cannot adopt new ideas while still clinging to the outworn beliefs of the past. We must be willing to relinquish our old concepts. That is where the courage comes in. It takes courage to leave behind that which has proved to be unsatisfactory in our experience. There is one power. There is one power in the universe that is perfect, and I can use it. I know that this power moves, lives, and breathes through me, moves, lives, and breathes through all of life. In the breeze, in the wind, in the clouds, in the stars, in every grain of sand, and in every mountain. I know that this power lives, moves, and breathes in you. Those of you that are gathered here this morning and on our online family. And I know that right here and right now, this very power is as close to me as my breath. I know that it fills with love, with peace, this space, and it moves beyond these walls in love and peace everywhere else throughout the land. And I'm grateful for the words of Rev Kev, where there is peace, and the voice of our beloved Gino, and the hands that play the instruments in our band behind me, and in the hands that prepared this place so lovingly. I know that peace is right here, right now, in all, as all.
When tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. When the road gets rough and friends can't be found, I'm your bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. I'm your bridge over troubled water. I got you now, yeah. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, when evening falls so hard, I will comfort you. I'll take your hand and live through the storm. When tears are all around, I'm your bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. I'm your bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna be your bridge over troubled water. I am your bridge. Anytime you in worry, anytime you in doubt, I am your bridge. I will ease your mind. trouble, anytime you're down and in worry, I am your bridge. I'm gonna be with you. When the water's shaking, trouble's on the way, I am with you. I am with you always, always. I will ease your mind. I am your bridge.
Gino! And Sounds of Spirit, Matt, Ollie, and Linda. Does that bring back some memories or what? Not that version, but wow, that brought back some memories. So what Borghild so beautifully read here, this reading from Joel Goldsmith, this last line, check out this last line. It takes courage to leave behind that which is proven unsatisfactory in our lives. It takes courage to leave behind that which is proven unsatisfactory in our lives. Who could relate to that? Yeah, it's a human experience, right? Even though it's not working, sometimes it's just really hard to let go. That's kind of what I want to talk about this morning. But first, I have a riddle for you. And anyone who guesses the riddle, besides those of you who were in first gathering, yeah, anyone who guesses it gets a free Amy Steinberg Friday night concert ticket. Gino said she would pay for it. So, but really, it's going to be an awesome concert, by the way. Gino, if you've not heard Amy, she will rock the house. But anyway, free ticket. And there was like about an 11-year-old kid in the first gathering that got it. I don't know. But anyway. Okay, what has 4 legs, then 2 legs, then 3 legs, but 1 voice? What has 4 legs, then 2 legs, then 3 legs, but 1 voice? Suyan. A person. How'd you get that? A person. It's a person. Yes. Can you do it? Talk really loud.
It's a person because you start crawling on 4 legs, you grow up as an adult with 2 legs, and then you walk with a cane.
What? Did you know the riddle before? Ah! Okay. So I found, actually this riddle is ancient Greek mythology, which shows that we go through life with a lot of changes. A lot of changes happen in life. And I got the riddle from this book, Transitions, which we're going to be talking about this month. It's a powerful book, and it's by William Bridges. And he talks about the transitions we go through. And he talks about there being basically 3 parts to a transition. It's an ending. It's an in-between, which he calls neutral zone. There is nothing neutral about that zone, but that's what he said. And then there's a new beginning. And his point, which I think is well taken, is if we don't tend to each one of those phases, we're really not going to launch a very good new beginning. We're not really going to be able to root in a new beginning. So I want to talk about this book, these stages this month for several reasons. The first is 3 people in the last, 6 months referred this book to me. So at the 3rd person, I went and got the book. And in it, as I'm reading about endings, what I'm realizing is I have accumulated a lifetime of endings. And two particular endings really came up for me when I was reading this book. The first is, some of you may know this about me, but when I was a young man, I was in a Roman Catholic seminary for a long period of time. I was studying to be a Catholic priest. And the order I was in was very monastic, so we didn't really have much contact with people in the real world, as we referred to you. We referred to you as people in the real world. And we spent a lot of time in prayer and in study, so that was a pretty impactful time in my life. And I left there. And recently, one of my classmates became a bishop. So I went to go attend his ceremony and ran into a lot of guys there that I had been with some many years back. And I was feeling such emotion, loss, grief, connection. I had this awareness, I never attended to that ending. And it was a powerful ending. That was my world and my identity. And to leave that was kind of like a start over. So that was, as I'm reading this book, I'm realizing, wow, that's just this whole piece of my life. And then the second thing that happened, the second ending I just really became aware of, is about 2.5 years ago, my dad died. And about a month later, my adult daughter with her boyfriend moved into our house. And I realized I was so excited and stepping into this new dad role, that I didn't really grieve my dad and what it was like to no longer be someone's son on the planet, right? And so those were things I'm realizing, I got to talk about this book because there's some work to do here. So take a deep breath, because some of you kind of stopped breathing with that. The second reason I wanted to talk about this book is if we're any bit aware of what's going on in our lives, we have an awareness that we're always at some ending, some in between, some new beginning. That's what it means to be alive, to be evolving. And the third reason I want to talk about this, I wouldn't normally say this, but we're having a winter, aren't we? For San Diego. It is cold, it is cloudy, it is windy, it is wet. It's like happening here. We're having our first ever winter, right? I'm waiting for spring. I'm waiting for, you can see the brightness of the colors now, but I'm waiting for the warmth of the sun, right? And we're in a time of year of transition. And it's marked by Easter. Easter is about new life. And it's positioned right in spring, right? Because it's the rhythm of the universe. So what we will celebrate at Easter is new life rising up. That's what we'll celebrate. We're in a period now called Lent. It's a Christian time of a Christian period in which Lent means, check out what Lent means. Lent means preparing for new light. Preparing for new light. So we're at a time in the harshest of winters. With the idea of preparing for light. So it's good to talk about endings now. Let's close out winter. Let's prepare for the new beginnings in Easter. Okay? That sound good? That's what we're going to do. And then I want to say one other thing, which Bridges in this book mentions. Between now, as our preparation, and Easter, there will be acknowledged a death. The death of Jesus. A significant ending. Just like for us, when we experience endings, it feels like a dying. It feels like a dying. Dying to experience new life, it's imperative that parts of ourself die off. Because that's the evolutionary process. The evolutionary process is full of dying aways, of endings, so new life can happen. So I just say, again, I'll say this again. If we're wanting new life, it's really important and necessary that we deal properly with endings. So let's take another breath here. So if I forget to remind you to breathe, please do so on your own, right? Just a deep, deep, full breath. So I have a story to tell. As I'm reading this book, I think of this story. I've shared it before. But it's a story about a guy that's walking along the edge of a cliff. And just like you and I, we walk too close to the edges of our life or boundaries or borders. If we walk too close, he's walking close along this edge, and he falls. And he's falling down, and coming out of the edge of the cliff is a root. So as he's falling, he hangs onto this root. He hangs onto it, right? He's safe. He's not going down. He's holding on tight. He's holding on for dear life. How many of us hold on to something so tightly because we really think it's going to save us? The grip, knuckle, holding on, right? So after a while, his hands are getting tired. He doesn't know how much longer he can hold on. So he looks up to the heavens and he says, God, help me. God, help me, which we're apt to do in our times of crisis. Please help me, right? And a voice from the heavens, God says from the heavens, let go. And the guy considers that and thinks, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know the future. I don't know who I'll be if I have to let go. Holding on, considering his options. He looks back into the heavens and says, is there anyone else up there? I think that's a great analogy for endings, this interim threshold, and new beginnings. Endings are tough because we don't know how our lives will be after what's ended has ended. Or maybe more to the point, we don't know who we will be. Who will we be? You know, for me, it was really harsh to have an awareness. I'm no longer a seminarian when so many years I identified with that role. I'm no longer a son of someone who's on this planet. That was harsh. The rude realization, especially with my daughter in my house, I'm next. It's a rude awakening when both our parents are gone. Yeah. When both of them leave. It's hard to deal with endings because it's a lot of fear, it's a lot of unknown, it's a lot of how will my life be? Who will I be? Who will I be with this diagnosis, leaving this relationship, leaving this job? Who will I be leaving this story that I've carried for so long? And the other real challenging thing about endings is we don't know how to do them. I think back then when I left the seminary, I was just like, I just need to move on. I've left that, it's done. I need to move on. So I didn't properly attend to what's next, or what was, right? Here's the problem when we discharge or ignore endings. Here's the problem with it. Endings are not finalities. Endings are not finalities. Within an ending are seeds of what's new, of what's next. Inherent in endings are what's next. So we don't want to discard what's ending. Let's take another big, deep, full breath here. So does anyone in the room have an ending that you would briefly like to share? An ending you've had or have, Viraj?
Yeah, I recently retired, and
Yeah.
I had been a teacher for 30 years, but very involved as an activist for the teachers union. That's who I was. And taking
Are you hearing Viraj? Because that's a great example. A teacher advocate for the teachers union, that's who you were, that's what you did. That's how you identified yourself, and you left that. Ah, good, thanks. That was a great example. Thanks, Viraj. Yeah, Chris.
Same thing, retired.
Retired. Yeah, when you own a lot of businesses in San Diego, and you're somewhat of almost a public figure in San Diego, and that's who you were. All these businesses, significant player, and then you retire. You move from that. That's a loss. Anyone else? Yeah, Carolyn.
when I left my first husband.
Ah.
I mean, everybody knew me as the miserable wife of this person, and I played that role, and suddenly I had to find a new role.
Yeah, divorce or separation of primary relationships is extremely, what's the word? I don't know. Devastating, and brings about huge identity crisis. Who will I be if I'm not in this relationship? Who will I be on my own? Thank you for that, Carolyn. Anyone else? Yeah, Gino.
When I left St. Louis to come to school here, the transition with my brother and I, it wasn't settled. It was like I was there one day, and then the next day I was gone.
Huh?
Yeah, and I just realized, like, wow, never settled that ending.
Yeah, when Gino moved here from St. Louis and then leaving her brother, one day she was gone. And let me say something about, well, someone else had a hand up, Deva.
Yeah, so I've always advocated for mental illness.
Yeah.
Having gone through bipolar myself, now I need a kidney, so now I'm advocating for the donor program.
Wow.
So it gave another layer to my advocacy work.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for that. And endings and beginnings. So let me say a couple things about endings. Endings, especially sudden endings, are tough. Endings, especially endings that we don't initiate, are tough. However, endings are tough, even if they're planned, even if we've initiated it. So we can't think, oh, I shouldn't be feeling this way, either because it's been planned for a while or because I want it. Doesn't matter. It's still an ending. And endings need to be tended to and need to be honored, right? Another challenging thing about endings, when we're really in an ending, right? It's really difficult to see what's next. It's difficult to imagine it. It's difficult to feel into what's next. So we make the mistake of thinking that the ending is a finality as opposed to a first step in what's new. It's a first step into what's new. It's difficult, however, when we're so, I want to say overwhelmed, engaged in an ending to see beyond that. That's what's so tough about it, right? So here's one thing that I was thinking. If we can, if we're struggling or tending to an ending, if we can pull back a second, if we can pull back and do a few things, pull back from this particular ending and do a few things. The first is to consider all the endings that we've had in the past lives, to consider that, and to hold that as maybe a way shower to hold that as, hey, I survived all those endings. Not only did I survive, but maybe in some ways I thrived because of those endings. I mean, I got to tell you, myself, the order I was in, and the Catholic Church are oh so glad that I didn't stay. And you're glad, because we'd have never met each other. But if we could step back a bit in our endings and say, hey, not maybe this particular ending, but I've been here before. I've come to endings, first thing. The second thing is to have an awareness. An ending is the first step to a newness. I may not be able to see it, imagine it, feel it. That doesn't matter. That's what we know about endings. They end so something else can begin. It's just the nature of evolution. And the third thing, then, if it's part of the evolutionary process, which it is, we're engaged in an evolutionary process individually because the whole of the universe is engaged in an evolutionary process collectively. It just is. Read your science books, 14 billion years of evolution. So since the universe is, and you're a part of that, you're going through your own evolutionary process. So here's what we know about evolution. It's guided by an intelligence that is beyond us. It just is. None of us could have thought up the magnificence of what has resulted from 14 billion years of evolution. Go walk down the street and look at the beautiful array of colored flowers. They're magnificent. All from an initial explosion of light. So you can be assured in your, even though it might not feel this way, in your evolution, your own individual evolutionary process, that you're being guided and supported. And as we can step back and say, I can't feel it or think about it, but it's the first step towards something next. And if we could think, I'm even guided in this heartache, in this confusion, in this not knowing who I will be. Something else about endings is sometimes we feel responsible or embarrassed because of an ending at the way people might look on it as failure, or we didn't quite measure up. And the truth of the matter is, this is our own unique path. And those comments or other people's opinions should not be entertained by us. Because that's their stuff. It's not our stuff. Let's take another full breath here. So I've been thinking about this process of ending transitions and beginnings, and I'm having an awareness that major spiritual leaders in our traditions have gone through these endings, these middles, and these beginnings. And each week I'm going to take a significant figure. And this week I want to comment on the Buddha. So the Buddha was an ordinary man. And Siddhartha was his name, ordinary man. Well, born into riches, but an ordinary man. That part wasn't too ordinary about it, but everything else pretty much was. He became a figure, a presence in which billions of people have been transformed because of who he became. Billions of people transformed. today, 2,000 plus years later, I'm talking about him. Throughout history and our world, Buddhism has had a huge impact on the relief of individual suffering and on personal transformation. It has. It's because of his ending. So the story is he's an ordinary man born in riches and raised in a palace with big walls surrounding him so that his father could protect him. And his father, there's a whole story about that, but that's not for these purposes. But his father provided him with every need he had. There's a line in there that says he had dancing women, he had great food, he had wine. Any need he had, his dad made sure it was supplied so he wouldn't want to leave the palace. And there's these big, thick walls, and his dad's like, if I just keep him entertained and fulfill his every need, he won't need to go anywhere, you know? Well, Siddhartha experienced some kind of pain, some kind of yearning, some kind of suffering within him. It doesn't say, but I'm guessing it had to do with there's got to be more. There's got to be more. So he left the palace. He left being rich. He left being protected. He left being a son. He left being an heir. He left his wife. He left being a husband. And he left his kids. He left being a parent. He left everything he knew and everything he identified with. He ended it so that something new could happen. Now, his was clearly intentional. A lot of times ours aren't so intentional. But he left it. He left it. He left all of who he was and his whole life. So that and he couldn't imagine when he left that 2,000 plus years later we'd be talking about it. That people around the world would be inspired and transformed by his words and by his practices. How could he know that? But he left everything. Now, the scriptures don't comment on this, but we could only assume how heartbreaking that must have been. To leave everyone and everything to start off and be open to what's new. Another deep breath. So here's what I'm going to invite you to do. I'm going to invite you to, and if that sounds meaningful for you, we have a couple books in the back. Get the book. It's a powerful book, especially if you're going through some kind of ending, transition, middle ground, or beginning. I'm going to invite you to go home, which is a practice that he talks about in this book, and just consider your endings as you're growing up. You know, your endings as a child. Did you move? What happened in terms of endings as a child? As an adolescent, as a young adult, as an adult? What significant, or maybe even not, minor endings have you had? And as you think about it, think about what did you feel during that ending? But more importantly, what did you choose not to feel during that ending? Consider in these endings who you were before this ending happened and who you became after the ending. And I invite you to do that almost as a preparation for whatever endings you're being called to now. And in the following weeks, we'll talk about the next steps. But I really encourage you to just this week, Be with the endings of your life. Even if you're aware that, there was a death 10 years ago that I didn't really grieve, or there was a loss of a job or a new job, and I don't know that I fully let go of that old identity. Whatever it is, wherever it takes you, let's just pay attention to endings. Because all this is preparation, right? It's all preparation for what's new that's wanting to happen. I want to read again, I think, this reading, and then we'll do a little process. So go ahead and close your eyes. So I love this reading. It was written in 1950, a while back, but I think it's got some great truths to it. So this is by Joel Goldsmith again. We cannot adopt new ideas while still clinging to the outworn beliefs of the past. We must be willing to relinquish our old concepts. This is where courage comes in. It takes courage to leave behind that which is proven unsatisfactory in our experience. So taking a deep, full breath right into your heart. Let's just know first and foremost that you are guided, that you are supported, that you are involved in an evolutionary process of becoming more than who you have been. And in this becoming more, you are fully supported, you are fully guided. That's just the truth. So experience yourself as someone who's becoming, which requires an ending. It requires a letting go. So just let your higher self reveal to you, what is it that you're supposed to be letting go of? What is it that you're holding on to so tightly? And it's just time to release. It's time to let go. So let's know together as gathered spiritual community here, let's know that we are supported and we are guided in our letting go.
Can I just let go? Can I just let go? If I can let go, the darkness will fade. If I can just let go, there's a light all around me. The pain in my thoughts have kept me holding on. But I feel like letting go. I'm ready to run and I'm ready to leap into what is real. Got a sweet invitation, a mandate of ecstasy. Let go of your will, drop your tools and follow me. I wanna abandon my vision. It's time to release. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. If you can let go, the darkness will fade. Let go. New life is awaiting as I rearrange these old facts of mine. But I'm tired of holding on. My heart is making an authentic appeal. It's such a sweet invitation, a mandate of ecstasy. Let go of your will, drop your tools and follow me. I won't abandon my vision. It's time to release. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go, let go, let God, let go. The power of God is God in me. Surrender to what I've got to be. And deep within, God loves us so. Let go, I'm letting go. With God, all things are possible. With God, all things are bountiful. And deep within, God loves your soul. Let go, I'm letting go. I feel like letting go. Let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go. Let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go. Let go, let God, let go. I feel like letting go. Let go, let God, let go. If we can let go, the darkness will fade. Pray to let go. Let go. Let it all, let it all, let it all go. Let it go.
Gino and the band. What a great song, right? So now we come to the part in our gathering where I ask you to let go of your money. But I want to share with you a story first. About 5 months ago, this woman came to our center, and I hadn't seen her for a number of years. She used to come here, and then she came one morning, and afterwards she came up to me and she said, even though I don't come, it means so much to know that you guys are here. And we are here after 22 years being always in financial integrity and in the black because of your generosity, because of the way you support our center. And your generosity enhances us to do a few things. We're a safe place for people who need it. We just are. We teach high spiritual teaching for people who need it. So we're here for people. The second thing is we give out, as you know, 10% of what we get to those places, persons, and things that do the work of love on the planet. So we support them. The third thing is we do a lot of stuff in relation to racial equality, justice, and social justice. We do a lot of stuff out in the world. And if you're questioning that or wonder what that is, get our newsletter, because it's loaded with the things that we do out in the world. And it's your generosity to do this. So the other thing that I think enhances us in having a sound budget is that this time of year, actually in February, we ask you what you're going to give us for the year. And we ask you that so that we don't have to guess about how to create a budget. We know what's coming in, and that's an important factor. And for 22 years, 21 years, we've been asking you what you're going to give, and it empowers us to create a sound budget. So we just concluded our pledge month. We asked all of you to do conscious giving and roll by filling out these cards. Thank you for you who did that. Thank you for you who give. And if you're a regular member and congregant of this community and you haven't yet filled it out, you can do so. The cards are in front of you. You could put it in an envelope. It's just you letting us know what you're going to give. And if your circumstances change and you can't give, no worries. Don't worry about that. We'll just call the police, and we will bring this because it has your signature. And we'll call it a day. No one's going to follow up on that. Lorraine, our Wisdom Council leader, will be at the back table if you have any questions about that. I know I said a lot. We've been talking about it all month. This is the final Sunday. Let's take a breath. So hear this. Thank you for the ways that you support our community. I'm going to invite you to place your hands over your heart. And if you do this morning have a financial gift, hold your gift to your heart. So let's take a moment and just consider all the many ways you give out, all the many ways you're generous, all the many ways you show up, all the many ways you make a difference in the world. Just consider those. Hold that. All the ways you are generous and give. And let's just bless your giving right now. Know that it's good and that it's making a difference in the world. And repeat after me. As I give out, I receive.
As I give out, I receive.
As I receive, I give out.
As I receive, I give out.
God happening is me.
God happening as me. This is our conscious giving song. Thank you for this day. You'll see the lyrics up pretty soon. Look at that, Sarah. Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for today.
All right, two things. Sue Yang, see Tino about your free ticket for
Yeah.
Amy. Come Friday night, 7 p.m., see Amy. The second thing, Viraj, would you stand up? Social justice, Spirit in Action today, right across the street, refreshments. Check out what we're doing out in the world. Check out. So let's all stand. If you feel comfortable, join hands with each other. Take a deep breath in. And let's take a moment and know that we're connected. We're connected with each other. We're connected with the breath, which is God's breath. We're connected with this evolutionary process moving all through the universe. And it's happening within us. So we allow ourselves, we let go into feeling supported and guided. And let's know this together as we say.
So it is. As we get ready to prepare for our beloved Amy Steinberg coming back, let us sing out, shine and be glorious. Hey. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. I open my heart, even in the dark, the light of my God always shine, even in the night. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine your light. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Open my heart this miracle day. The love of my God gives it to me, all the good I can take. So shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Come on, kids. Shine, be glorious, reflect the divine. Spirit of mine, Spirit divine, let me shine. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel, let me be a vessel of love. Take that with you today as you go out this Sunday. Know that you are a vessel of love, and that spark got started right here at what? Universal. I can't hear you. Say it like you mean it. Have a great Sunday. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet for Amy this Friday, now.